This is the men's room.
Forget it, man, and get with the countdown. Shake this square world and blast off for Kicksville. The trippers, the grasshoppers, the hip ones, all gathered in secrecy and flying high as a kite.
You're listening to the men's room with Miles and Thrill.
Coming up, we'll drink and toast with a shot of the day on the way. Ted versus the FCC. Bad jokes. Our question: who was responsible for setting what on fire? 844-999-OLA.
Hello, Ryan. Welcome to the men's room.
Hola.
Hola.
So I got an answer to the question of the day there.
Perfect.
When me and my little brother were, I forget how old we were young kids, and we happened to find my stepdad's dirty magazines before they got home from work, and we heard him coming home, so we decided to throw them in the closet, and I took some matches that we weren't supposed to play with. I lit them on fire and shut the door and went in the living room like nothing was going to happen.
Wait.
Whoa.
Hold on.
Whoa. Time out.
You lit the matches on fire, threw them in the closet with the magazines, and closed the door and walked away?
Yeah.
How old were you, man?
We must have been like 5 or 6. We were young.
Okay. Yeah. Wow, that sucks.
We didn't know any better. We went out to the living room, and they came home, and it didn't take long before my stepdad smelled something, went in the closet, found it. It burnt the closet down, and he put the fire out, and he whooped us pretty good.
Yeah.
He got rid of his porn. Did he think like you guys had some puritanical protest, or why did he think you lit his
closet
porn
on fire?
I don't know. I have no idea. There were still some pages left, so he figured out what we were doing.
Huh.
Man.
Wow.
God damn, man.
Okay, look, I'm not going to put too fine of a point on this, but I think I knew better when I was 5.
I think I did.
As far as fire
I
goes.
wouldn't.
Fire. Fire.
Fire. Not the porn,
fire.
but throwing
I wouldn't think to save the porn at fire.
Fire. I mean, like, I would know matches and what they do. I would use them outside. I had a pocket knife when I was 5 years old.
Sure. I mean, I'll give them a break because they went into a panic because stepdad rolls home. Still a stupid decision.
But I
the
would throw
worst
the magazine in, but I would not throw a pack of matches on fire in there and shut the door at the same time. I would just.
You're right. That was
put
the
them back
decision
and shut
he
the door.
made, right.
You're setting the house on fire. I'm not sure that I understand.
And
that.
the worst part is, too, man, like back in the day, your only porn was your magazine.
Right.
So you didn't have computers, so not only did you burn the closet down, you took your dad's go-to stash for the spank bank, and you got rid of it,
If you were upstairs and watching videos on a VHS or something like that, and
that's fine.
Dad came home, and would you throw matches on the bed and burn his bedroom down because you wouldn't want him to, like, you know what I mean? Like, okay. Who was responsible for setting what on fire? 844-999-OLA.
Really, I'd be angriest about the porn. Like, come on, man. Hello, Mike. Welcome to the men's room.
Hola.
So back in high school, me and my buddy were out on the back 40 of his house having a bonfire. His fault. He threw the beer in the fire, beer can unopened. And back then, we would always stretch condoms and take pictures of him pulling it up through his nose. Well, he was kneeling next to the fire. We were trying to get a picture. That's about the time the beer can blew up. And about half a second later, he is completely lit on fire, running through the woods, screaming. No injuries. He was fine.
He was fine, but he was screaming.
He took off on fire through the woods.
He's fine.
Which just seems like the worst idea.
Mm-hmm. People on fire is never good.
He used to put condoms on the beer cans? Is that what I heard?
Yeah, I got confused by a lot of that in there.
Yeah.
I heard he took condoms, put them over his friend's face, and took pictures of him with, like, his face was in it.
Oh, okay.
Like, looked all weird, like when you put pantyhose over
Okay,
it.
I got you.
But he'd also thrown a beer in the fire.
Right.
And
So
that's
that
why he burst
exploded.
into flames.
Uh-huh.
You think anyone ever,
Well, the condom probably saved his life.
That's probably what burst into flames.
I would think the latex, yeah.
Okay. Do you think anyone ever? All right, so people put like pantyhose on their head and try to rob a bank or a convenience store. You think anyone just slipped a condom over their head and did the same thing?
No, I think it'd be too hard to breathe.
Or blew up one of those big doctor gloves?
Yeah, I've seen people just do it over their noses. But, you can't put it over both because then you wouldn't breathe.
Just
the
saying.
pantyhose breathe.
Take whatever you cash you got in these Huggies. Who is responsible for setting wood on fire? 844-999-OLA.
Hello, Kyle. Welcome to the men's room.
Liquor stores.
Liquor and whores.
How's it going, guys?
Good, man. How are you?
Good. All right, so there's this one time, me and my buddy, we were about 15, 16 years old, and we were going down to the river with me and him and this girl a day or two after 4th of July. And so we're out there, and you guys know in those cartoons or like when you're a kid watching TV, and dude, stop hitting me. Sorry, we're on a road trip. My buddy's being a jerk. But
I thought you said it as a kid.
We're out at the river, and I decided that we're going to launch a mortar on
Once again, Metro Colors, here are the 7 words you can't say on the radio. Sucker, mother, and please keep those words in mind when calling. Now, back to the program.
Oh, and you know what? Mike notated that with a profanity warning.
He did. All right, Kyle, look, man, no more of the 7 words.
Copy that.
Okay.
All right, so he's up on the log, and I had aimed this mortar, like, directly at his head. It was a bullseye. He was going down, and I was totally trying to hit him. So I launched this thing off, but the funny thing about mortars is that they do not go where you aim them. So it takes a hop, and it goes over him. He jumps in the river. This thing explodes, and it was like America was going off on all 7, like, corners of the world. And, like, bald eagles were calling in the background. It was a good day. And so he's swimming across, and this girl, we're all laughing about it, and this girl's like, fire. I'm like, no. She's like, fire. I'm like, no. You quiet. You don't know what you're talking about. Sure enough, we look over there, and this log is burning, raging out of control. And we had to call the fire department, and there were all kinds of fire trucks. It was crazy.
Yeah, because you lit off an explosive in the woods.
Yeah, funny about that.
And there's, like I'm always shocked by people who are like, so we go in the river and we
all got wet.
Yeah, man, it's nuts.
But I like the idea. I want you to think about something he said, and I truly appreciated this. He said, look, I aimed the mortar directly at my buddy's head. The crazy thing about mortars is that they don't go where you want them to. So the thought in my head is like, that's good news. In this case, that's very good news.
Right.
Because you're aiming at your buddy's head with a mortar.
That was my question. What happens when the mortar hit him?
Yeah, that's where I thought the story was going. I'm glad that they don't go where you aim them and you just lit the log on fire.
Mm-hmm. I do remember that group of kids who would do the Roman candle fights.
Always.
Always. In the neighborhood. Who is responsible for setting wood on fire? 844-999-OLA.
It's a mortar.
Yeah, a mortar's a little different.
Like, you ever seen footage of a guy in the Army just holding one up and shooting it straight? Like, no, they drop them in and they go over huge distance.
Right, and then they leave.
Yeah.
Hello, Cheyenne. Welcome to the men's room.
Hola!
Hola!
All right, so kind of bearer of bad news. I caught my car on fire.
What kind of car was it?
It's a Honda Civic. We were doing a motor swap on it. I was getting tired after the 3rd day, could not get this thing started, and so being exhausted...
No pun intended.
I put my ratchet up against the starter trying to tighten something down, and it sparked and caught my entire brake system on fire.
And then what do?
You go steal another Honda Civic and get the parts from that, like everybody else who owns a Honda Civic. Right.
You know what? That would be a lot easier, but... what I had to do is I had to think quickly. The car's in my garage. I'm going to catch my house on fire. I ran inside, grabbed the biggest bowl I could of water, and dumped it on the car. And thankfully, nothing bad happened except, well, the fire went out. So I got a little lucky.
Okay. And did the car still work?
No.
That was the end of the car, huh?
You spent 3 days working on the car just to end up destroying the car.
That's correct.
Do you still work on cars?
I do. I actually now work on BMWs, which are 10 times worse.
Why are they 10 times worse?
Oh, they're electrical nightmares. That's why. Now I have a risk of catching fire with that.
Oh, all right. Well, but you work on them.
You make me feel safe.
Do you work on them on a professional basis?
Not really. I wish I did, but no.
You're just doing this as a hobby. Like, hey, bring your BMW over to Cheyenne's house. She'll change the oil and filter.
And may or may not light it on fire.
Mm-hmm.
I probably don't give them that forewarning, though.
Because we got a guy on the East Coast named John Boucher, and he might just take you up on that offer.
Oh, yeah.
He's probably got like 9 used BMWs trying to kick game at this very moment.
His P-Mobile.
I remember my car caught on fire, but I still think that's the guy who fixed it's fault.
Well, yeah.
It's my fault I drove it that long on fire.
But you didn't know.
Right.
You didn't know it was on fire.
It was billowing black smoke.
Didn't you end up getting you extinguished the car and they got a ticket because it's in front of a fire?
Well, didn't he use duct tape or something to fix your car? The guy that your brother
put on a lot of engine cleaner or something. I mean, there was a lot wrong with that car.
Okay,
and he made it a lot worse, I'm guessing.
Yeah. So then when I was driving it, right, I mean, there was black smoke coming out.
Are you on the DC Beltway or anywhere?
I started on the DC Beltway and made it to the Baltimore Beltway.
All right.
So I called him. He says, "Don't worry about it." He's like, "Don't worry about it, man. It's just engine coolant."
Oh, it's just going to burn off.
Burning off. Just burning off.
Yeah, it's just burning off. Just burning off. Right. And then when I stopped in front of my apartment building, I heard the crackling. I realized it was on fire.
Well, didn't someone try to warn you when you were driving? Didn't somebody roll down the window and say, "Hey"?
Right. But he's going, "Your car's on fire," and I was like, "I don't have a flat tire."
You never. Right? I refuse to rhyme anything.
Right. As soon as I parked, it was obvious, and then I ran in to get an extinguisher. The lady said, "You can't take that. They're really expensive." I said, "My car's on fire." And by the time I got out there was already 2 dudes with extinguishers putting it out.
She wasn't going to let you take the extinguisher?
No, but then you're correct. I went to work, I got back, and the local police had
ticketed your car.
Yeah, rubbed out some of the soot and put a ticket in there for parking too close to a hydrant.
With your burned out car.
It's a burnt car.
I mean, damn, you think you get some slack maybe on that one.
Not only that, but
much irony.
But then they impounded it, right? And the cop calls me, and I was like, frickin' keep it.
Right.
I do not care. And they're like, well, you got to pay this fee to get it out. I'm like, what? You just destroy it.
It's a burned out car.
Yeah, that was my theory. This car sucks.
Still to come, we're going to drink and tell shot of the days on the way. Ted versus the FCC and get those bad jokes to us. You can email the bad jokes to the men's room at mensroomlive.com. Speaking of the emails, we've got those coming up next. You are listening to the Men's Room Radio Network.
We return to the men's room with Miles and Thrill.
Our question, who was responsible for setting what on fire? And here come those emails to the men's room at mensroomlive.com.
You've got mail.
Old Bacholas, the fuel pump in my mom's Ford Tempo went out, and in order to replace it, you have to drop the fuel tank. Since the fuel tank was almost full, it needed to be siphoned. My father, he did not want to inhale any gas fumes or possibly swallow gas, so he came up with the idea to use the vacuum cleaner to suction, start a siphon to drain it out.
Oh, boy.
I think I was 10 and witnessed a few learnable moments. One, the fumes are the flammable part of gasoline, and electric motors create sparks. It all started fine and in theory sounded like it would work, but then I hear an OS. I look up, and there's our now smoldering canister vacuum sailing across the air, rolling to a stop halfway down the driveway, and then engulfed in flames. Luckily, nothing else caught on fire, and this has become a story we've laughed about for many years. Keep on rocking that from B-Dub.
Damn.
Guys, I once was pretty good at making explosives as a kid, and one 4th of July back in Inglewood, my cousin took me to one of those fireworks stands that sells the not-so-fun fireworks. Since I couldn't get the actual fun ones from Mexico, I settled for 4 of those flare-shooting stand-up tubes. After lighting one and then being very disappointed, I decided to take the charges out of the other 3, package them together into one big flare bomb, and lit it in my backyard bomb-testing hole. It worked great, shooting flares in all directions, which was great except for the fact that I forgot to clear out the grass in the hole, and 2, the yard was unwatered, so it pretty much is hay at that point. Set the entire yard ablaze seconds after it went off, panicked, tried to stomp it out while the flares were still shooting everywhere. Finally put it out with one of those hoses before my shoes melted. And since the whole yard was now covered in black grass, I simply raked it away and left it nothing but dry dirt, convincing my mom I decided to clean up the backyard because it was a fire hazard.
Yeah.
I was 12 at the time. 18 years later, she still does not know to this day. That from Bacon. Old Bacholas, the person who was responsible for catching something on fire was my dad, and what he caught on fire was himself. When I was a kid, we were all camping on a camping trip. Myself and my buddies, we were hanging out at the picnic table while we were watching my father try to get the barbecue started. My dad was a funny guy. He wore his cutoff shorts, black socks, wife beater, trucker cap. He got the coals to the point where they were all looking good. They had the white edges and just needed more time, but he didn't have the patience to wait. Dad had the great idea to grab a styrofoam cup of white gas to speed up the process. We were all too stoned to tell Dad to stop what he was doing, and that was a bad idea.
Stop, man.
He owned a gas station, and there's no way he's going to do this. He's got to be just joking. No, with the cigarette hanging off his lip and a PBR in his right hand, he throws the white gas on the coals. The next thing we heard was a loud woof. The fire disappeared as fast as it exploded, and there was Dad. The cigarette burnt, the styrofoam cup half melted in his hand, his eyebrows gone, and his clear glasses now looking like dark aviators. We all looked at Dad back then. at ourselves and fell off the picnic bench laughing. That happened back in 1983. When I bring this story up with the guys that were there to witness this event, we all laugh like we did that day. Rock on, bitches, and keep up the great work. Thanks for sharing my story. That from the Metalhead in Gig Harbor. Ola Bicholas, who is responsible for catching what on fire? My brother caught me on fire. Late October, birthday party for his wife. It was getting dark out, so I went out to start the fire that he made. Before I got it started, he came around the corner with a beer can and started dumping it on the wood. It didn't set in what it was till he bent over and lit it, and it combusted instantly. It was kerosene. We toppled over, and the beer can that also caught on fire was tossed right onto my chest. Being in October, I was wearing thermal underwear, and the can saturated my shirt. I had to drop and roll as my brother was patting me down to try to put me out. I didn't get one burn, but I also didn't have a hair left on the chest from the belt up. Once the commotion settled down, I chased his ass around the house a couple times, wanted to kill the little SOB. We'll never stand by him at a campfire again. That from Jaybird. Do we have any comments?
Yeah, we got a few here and there. Let's see. When I was about 10 years old, my stepsister and I would spray Aquanet on the walls of our mobile home, that she points out was in a mobile home park, and write words, and then light them on fire. Well, we all know how flammable mobile homes are. That from Tanya. See, Tanya, I'm not surprised. When my sister and I were kids, she lit one of those flying bee fireworks, and it flew into and then ended up getting tangled in her hair. After that day, we were required to have ponytails every 4th of July. And then this one simply says, I burned my house down. No explanation.
Wow.
Just, I burned my house down. Yeah, that's it.
All right. Do we have time for a few more emails here from the men's room at mensroomlive.com?
You've got mail. You've got mail.
Cacao bitches, can we get a little kidfish sandwich and a couple of Joey chestnuts for our boy Jack, who has been a rockaholic his entire life? And today, he turns 1. That from proud parents, rock girl Erica and Red the Chicken Man.
Nice. Fish sandwich. Chestnut. Chestnut.
Guys, today's my son Gerald's pronounced pain in the butt's 11th birthday. Can you please give him an original fish sandwich and have the clean Germans tell him to remember to blow his nose? You guys are awesome. That from James.
Fish sandwich.
Yeah, just put the tissue up to your nose and push out with your nostrils. It's better than picking your boogers and wiping them under the table or sofa, which I know you are.
Yeah, on this one, it's called a snot rocket. You don't even need a tissue. You just close one side and blow.
Really hard. Yeah.
Not helping.
Bitches, my son is 14 today, and he's been listening since he was 4. Can I get an original fish sandwich and your penis is too small? Maybe some dirty Germans. Thanks, guys. Appreciate it. That from Mr. White.
Yeah, you said he is 14 years old. Yeah, no dirty German, but I'll tell you what. Whatever thumbnail you did on your last porn search, stick with that.
Yeah, stay in school.
Olivacholas and Wobbin, can I get an original fish sandwich for my gorgeous wife, Michelle's big day? Thanks, guys, and rock on. That from Rob in Mill Creek.
Fish sandwich.
Okay, Olivacholas, I turned 29, figured I'd get myself a shout-out instead of my bum-ass friends who are not going to do it. So for me, can I get a Ray Lewis, it's time to take off the leash, an owl hitting the window, and an oh dear Jesus? Thanks, guys, rock on, and keep it sexy. That from Jeff.
It's time to take off the leash.
Oh, dear Jesus.
Guys, it's my fiance's dirty 30th birthday. Happy birthday, Ernie. Can I please have as many fish sandwiches in a row that you're willing to play? Maybe a barbershop one as well. Thank you, guys. That from Amber.
Fish sandwich.
Can I get a fish sandwich? Oh, I gotta eat right. Oh, brother, can I have a fish sandwich? You put the cheese and the tartar on the side.
What up, bitches? Can you guys give a birthday shout out to Will the Redbeard? How about some dirty Germans talking about red beards and maybe your penis is too small? Thanks, guys. That from Alan.
Yeah, I just want to see this red beard, but not the one on your face.
Yeah, I have half a red beard, too. Remember, gingers are persistent and will not give up since the job is done.
Oh, Michelle, today is the day I celebrate 30 years on this supposedly flat planet of ours. I could think of no other gift than a Montgomery and a German thrill in Melbourne. Ted, love the show, guys. Cheers.
Montgomery! Yeah, for your birthday, we will play candy bars. I will show you all 3 of my musketeers, and then I will butterfinger you.
Yeah, Ted here from Melbourne. It's your birthday. Good news, and I'm inviting my German buddy. I'll show you his red belly black snake.
Michelle, as I'm writing in for a birthday shout-out, it's my 34th trip around the sun. I was wondering if I can get Mike Hawk saying sausage wallet and something very, very dirty from Robin in German. I'm a huge fan of the show. Was hooked the first night your show came on here in Sacramento, California, listening on 98 Rock, and now I have the app, and I listen daily. Thanks for all the laughs, guys. That from Sean, the angry German mechanic, a.k.a. the sauerkraut.
Sausage wallet.
Ja, du kannst ein bisschen Senf auf mein Brezel schmeißen.
I don't know what you said, but I like it.
What did you say?
Oh, it's real bad.
Okay.
Oh, it's bad.
And guys, today is my husband Gary's 51st trip around the sun. Can you please give him a little kid fish sandwich and some dirty Germans talking about long schlongs? That from your wife, Marina.
Fish sandwich.
Maybe Marina.
Yeah, Marina rhymes with vagina. Yeah, long schlongs. We will not talk about it. The picture is worth 1,000 words. Check your text.
Yeah, and after that, we'll play some Hammerschlagen. Just don't get that long schlongs away.
All right, guys, here you go. Happy, happy, happy birthday. Happy, happy, happy birthday. Happy, happy, happy birthday to you, bitches.
Ja, the Dirty Germans brought to you by Men's Room Original Sausage. Available through Uli's World Famous Sausage, mensroomlive.com, and other fine retailers. Schweinefleisch.
Oh, a couple extra here. Let's see what we got. This one comes from Julie on the subject of, you said the other day, I believe was it Noah Sherlock, that you can't breathe and swallow at the same time, or was that Big Dummy?
It was a question during Big Dummy. Apparently, it is true that you cannot breathe and swallow at the same time. I don't know.
So Julie says, babies can breathe and swallow at the same time. Babies can breathe and swallow.
And that's all she said, though.
Yeah, that's it. No, nothing more.
Is that true?
Well, we don't know. That's all she said. I mean, I can send an email that says babies turn into lizards at night, but there's nothing that qualifies behind that.
You can't really ask a baby. Guys, what is...
In theory, they were just in liquid, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So does it last for like a couple months? Like they could still do it?
Well, if I had the case, it'd be easier to give them a bath. You just throw them in there, but check on them in like 20 minutes of school. You can breathe water.
And don't. I know I screwed that up. It's about the umbilical cord, dude. Like I know.
Yeah.
You mean they don't have gills in there?
Mm-hmm. No, dude.
All babies have gills, and then when they hit the oxygen, gills gone.
They're like tadpoles.
That's right.
Yeah, exactly.
Babies are tadpoles. They're human tadpoles. That's all it is.
Yeah.
Subject here. What exotic thing did you eat? Guys, I had balut. It was balut, B-A.
That's that old dusty egg.
L-U-T.
Something, right?
Yeah, it's like a lie or something. I don't know.
Guys, it was a challenge at work. Ate the bird in one bite, fought through it, and didn't puke. It was quite the experience. That from Damon.
Yeah, and the chicken's like half.
Yeah, like you're biting through the bones and everything else. Like nothing about it sounds like a rotten egg with a chicken in it.
The chicken's so new, it still has its gills.
This one
it
says
was swimming not that long ago.
This one says subject, great show. Ola, my name is you.
Wait, how do they spell it?
U-W-E.
Is it just you?
Yeah, I think it's you, right?
Because there's like
how do you spell you like the animal? Isn't it U-W-E?
E-W-E.
I think that's E-W-E. That's right, E-W-E. So it's got to be you. It's German.
It's probably you.
Well, you're German.
I know, but it depends what part of the country he's from.
He's from Frankfurt.
Yeah, I don't know.
So you.
He says, my
it's
name
just
is
weird
you.
saying, my name is you.
It could be like Uwe or something weird.
He says, my name is you, and I am come from Frankfurt, Germany.
Okay.
I hear your show on work. It is on at 8 a.m. with us. Best wishes. That from you.
Huh. From who?
From you.
You, the guy. Not from me,
in Frankfurt.
that guy. Okay.
You, from you.
Oh, right on, man.
Yeah.
So we're on at 8 a.m.
You as a gentleman.
He says best wishes.
I
so
wrote him
thank
back.
you.
We talked about bread and sausage for a while.
Is he so
German.
So he gets up in the morning and he listens to us?
Yeah.
And what else did you talk about?
Talked about beer a little bit and how he should try ours if he finds it, and he said he'd keep an eye out for it, and yeah.
Okay.
Nothing else? He didn't know? Did he ask you what school you went to or anything like that? He didn't share what towns you're from?
I didn't go to school over there. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, all right. Okay. Yeah, you weren't very educated there.
That's true.
And another one here. So my, what is this about? I don't even know. I'm just going to read it. Okay, so my mom and, this is terrible. Oh, this is a family thing. So my mom and my sister and I decided to spread my dad's ashes on the water on a ferry between Bremerton and Seattle. We hop on the ferry and end up in the perfect spot to easily throw Dad's ashes in the water over the railing.
All right.
When we decided where we would get out of the car and say a few words, my mom starts dumping the ashes over the rail, and a wind comes up and literally blows my dad all over the ferry dock. We scrambled, crying and laughing for several minutes. I turned and looked toward the front of the ferry, and I could actually see a broom. So, yes, I was then able to sweep Dad off the ferry. I'm not sure my mom and sister and I have ever laughed or cried like that since. Good times. Thank you.
Just how everyone should be remembered.
Yeah. Oh, I believe we have time, if we can, for a couple of these real quick. Do we have time for this?
It's been said that there are no stupid questions. We disagree. Because you keep asking them.
Will I ever find love? Why is the sky blue? Is that rash an STD?
Yes.
Is the world round? Is my mom a whore?
Questions that need answers. And yes, we can help. This is Ask the Men's Room.
All right, time for a couple of these. If you have a question for Ask the Men's Room, just shoot us an email to themensroom@mensroomlive.com and make the subject Ask the Men's Room. Away we go. Guys, can you help me?
Maybe not.
I recently found out that my boyfriend cheated on me, and I think he is still seeing the other girl. But he tells me he is not. I have a great idea to get the other woman to fess up as to whether or not they are still together. Please help. That from Krista. Can we get involved in any of this? Do we know how this drama goes down?
If you don't trust them, break up with them.
It seems like a lot of work.
It's a lot. Look, if you're ready to break up with a guy, if you don't trust him, you're never going to be comfortable. Be done. I'm not getting into drama. I'm not doing it.
Ted, you got anything? You agree?
I mean, I'm with you. That's never been my speed, but I'm just like, you don't trust the dude. What's the point? It's like some people get cheated on and they get back together, and it's hard. They could rebuild that trust.
Yeah, okay.
But if
you currently don't trust him.
Right.
We don't know. Yeah, don't do it.
I say sit around at night, power drinking coffee, and think about it.
Krista, you're
there.
older.
You go.
You can get anybody you want. Guys, Red Fest was my first ever men's room event I've ever been to. Thanks for all the fun. I was wondering if the Dirty German beer was a one-time only event beer or if you can buy it somewhere. I was a little skeptical, but I thought it was absolutely delicious. That from Foster. Foster, right now, the Dirty German beers, we do the Dirty Germans during the birthday things there, only available at Red Fest.
That is correct.
Maybe one day we get a little bit bigger than that and it'll take off.
We did it last year at Red Festival, and it was met with equal vim, if you will. Man, people love it. It's a very good beer. It would be nice to get it out there, right?
And people are really loving the gold, too. And if you find those locations and you would get them to us, we'll share them with you. Send them to the Men's Room at mensroomlive.com, and we'll get that out there as a portion of net proceeds. Anytime you buy Men's Room Gold, red or black, benefit our friends at the local Fisher houses.
Yeah.
All right, I think we need to go back in time to the last time we played Ted versus the FCC. So if we could, let's go back in time.
Harry is cautiously hunting cunning kangaroos. Harry can't count hunts capturing chubby kangaroos. Kangaroo hunting can hurt when it can't hunt cunning kangaroos.
3 times fast.
Harry is cautiously hunting cunning kangaroos. Harry can't count hunts capturing chubby kangaroos. Kangaroo hunting can hurt when it can't hunt cunning kangaroos.
1.
Harry is cautiously hunting cunning kangaroos. Harry can't count hunts capturing chubby kangaroos. Kangaroo hunting can hurt when you can't hunt cunning kangaroos.
2.
Harry is cautiously hunting cunning kangaroos. Harry can't count hunts capturing chubby kangaroos. Kangaroo hunting can hurt when you can't hunt cunning kangaroos.
I got a big win in Ted versus the FCC last time. Let's try it again.
And now, everyone's favorite daytime game show, where one person could lose $325,000 and their job, or win and walk away with nothing. It's time for Ted versus the FCC.
We're up way late last night.
Unbelievable, man.
We do it every night before Ted versus the FCC. We did it again last night. We came up with some really hysterical rhymes and riddles. But lo and behold, we come in and we get this email from Cameron.
And if I had known that was going to happen, I would not have mixed sugar with liquid Snuggle and chugged it, man.
Cameron says he's been listening for over 13, 14 years.
Where'd you meet Sugar?
Oh, you know where. Same place you did, my man.
Yeah. He does say that this is his first time contacting the program, but he has listened for a very long time. And he says, Ted, here you go. I'm trying to get one in the L column for you. It goes something like this. Sean and Seamus sat in shifts, shearing shiny, shifty sheep. The shifty, shorn sheep sit on the shore, shouting, sit or get off the pot, Ted. The way we play Ted versus the FCC is you got to read that one time through and then 3 times fast.
Cameron seems awfully mean.
Yeah, generally I like a Cameron. Sean and Seamus sat in shifts, sharing shiny, shifty sheep. The shifty, shorn sheep sit on the shore, shouting, sit or get off the pot, Ted.
3 times fast.
Sean and Seamus sat in shifts, shearing shiny, shifty sheep. The shifty, shorn sheep sit in the shoe, shouting, sit or get off the pot, Ted.
1.
Sean and Seamus sat in shifts, shearing shiny, shifty sheep. The shifty, shorn sheep sit on the shore, shouting, sit or get off the pot, Ted.
2.
Sean and Seamus sat in shifts, shearing shiny...
It's right there. Oh,
damn it, man.
I couldn't get it out.
Oh, so close.
I couldn't get it out.
Oh, that has to be as far as it's ever gone without being a win.
I know.
That was so close.
All right, good work.
Yeah, man, you gave it a hell of a shot. That was not easy. There you go on Ted versus the FCC. All right, coming up the bad jokes. We will drink and toast with the shot of the day. Get those bad jokes to us via the email at the men's room at mensroomlive.com. You are listening to the Men's Room Radio Network.
Hola, bitches. You're listening to the Men's Room.
Bad joke time, 844-999-OLA, and away we go with the bad jokes.
Hello, Peter. Welcome to the men's room.
Hola.
Hola.
All right, my last birthday was my shortest one yet.
How's that?
It was my 32nd birthday.
Is that a spelling joke?
30 seconds.
Oh, okay.
32nd birthday.
All right.
2 cannibals were eating a comedian. One looks at the other and says, hey, does this taste funny to you?
If you run at 11 p.m., you're a night person. If you run at 5 a.m., you're a morning person. If you run at 3 a.m., you're a suspicious person.
Yeah, very true, very true.
What's the difference between roast beef and pea soup?
What is the difference between roast beef and pea soup? I feel like I'm going to regret it.
Anyone can roast beef.
That's actually better than I thought it was going.
Do you guys know how to make a cat bark like a dog?
How do you make a cat bark like a dog?
You pour some gas on it, throw a match on it, and woof.
Oh.
Why did I'm just telling what I see. Why did Beethoven give up his chickens?
Why did Beethoven give up his chickens?
Because all they did was bok, bok, bok.
All they would say is bok, 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 bok.
What do you call a blonde with an actual brain?
What do you call a blonde with an actual brain?
What? Golden retriever.
I asked my wife if I'm the only one she has slept with. She said yes. The others were all 7s or 8s. All right, Woman, and we made it to drinking time.
Somebody out there deserves to be recognized. And the Men's Room knows just who it is. So to you, we say, bottoms up, sailor. You're the toast of our shot of the day.
Drink time it is, and as usual, we head to the drink desk and Stephen Throwhill to find out who we're toasting.
Yes, indeed. And today we toast 26-year-old, Chinaka of somewhere in Nigeria. Now, he fancies himself what they're calling a natural healer. And he specializes in making magic charms. Apparently, magic charms are a bit of a cottage industry in Nigeria. And our man Chinaka, he's all about it. So he can make various charms for various things. Sometimes he can put a spell on them if you're sick, whatever you need. In this case, he had a special order from someone for bulletproof magic charms. And as you'd imagine, the magic charms are much like a necklace you wear around your neck. So anyway, they put in an order for the bulletproof magic charms, and Chinaka now wanted to close the deal. So the gentleman shows up, and as you might imagine, the guy's a little suspicious about how bulletproof these magic charms are. Chinaka says, worry no more. And Chinaka places the necklace around himself, hands the buyer a gun, and says, please, pull the trigger and fire. Now we'll prove to you that these magic charms are, in fact, bulletproof. Chinaka died at the scene after the man pulled the trigger. And now the guy's being investigated for possible homicide. But the witnesses were saying, like, look, man, the guy, Chinaka, asked him to shoot him because the guy truly believed they were magic charms. He's going to prove his point. Turns out they were not magic charms. I bet you didn't see that coming.
Wow.
Maybe he got those bullets from Diamondback.
The thing I got to wonder about this is just, you would think the guy's running a scam, right? You say you're making me magic charms. I don't believe you. Like BS. If he put them on himself and handed someone a loaded gun to fight, at least we know he believed
He truly
what he was
believed,
doing.
yeah.
He wasn't running a scam.
Right. He's wrong, but at least he believed in what he was doing. God damn,
Yeah, like
man.
all levels of science would tell you he is wrong.
Everything.
But
that's why these are magic.
Yeah.
They're magic.
If it had worked, how many of those would he have sold?
Who's dumber, him or the kid who got stabbed with a bulletproof, stab-proof vest on?
It's hard to know.
Yeah.
We pour this booze and we drink this booze because we think it's yummy.
Yummy!
So over the tongue and down the throat to party in our tummies. Down the hola, bitchola!
Let's get caller 9 on the line for a little profile this. 844-999-OLA.
Hola! The shenanigans continue on the Men's Room Radio Network.